Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stressed Out Podcast. This is episode 4, I think. I don't know. I can't count because I don't remember. It's been like a few days since the last episode. I'm doing this every like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So after those, I think it's been 3 episodes since then. So yeah. So every time I make a podcast too, I have this list of things that I normally want to talk about. Sometimes like the thing is too, like whenever I'm not doing the podcast, I have these ideas that I want to talk about, but like I never write them down. I don't know why. So I make a list all the time, like trying to think of the first things that I can think in my head that I want to talk about. But the problem is I don't want to be focused on that list because if I just focus on this list, that's the only things that I'm going to talk about. So I have a list. I'm trying my best not to look at it. But if I have like trying to think of something, I look at the list. That's usually how my podcast goes. I don't know how other podcasts do it, but I like to, obviously, I like to spit things out, talk about my ideas on stuff, and just try to list out some stuff. And I also do this because I'm a stressed out person sometimes. I'm kind of a little bit stressed right now. I don't know why. I just normally am. Just a little bit anxiety here and there. It's really fun. But yeah, that's basically how the podcast goes. It's going well so far. I'm really enjoying how the podcasts are going. I got a co-host last episode. It was Elmer. He was really good actually. People enjoyed it. So I'm hoping the next co-host will be soon. The next episode might be. So I'll have some people like, let me think. We have Dylan. I'm gonna call them out right now, just so I can get them to know. We have Dylan, Crispy, Derpy. We still have Elmer. And then we have Uncomfortable, which is Solak. We can have Mackin. Mackin's pretty cool, I guess. He's a new person that's been in the server. And I'll have, who knows, maybe if someone else is actually interested in being in this podcast, then I'll definitely allow them to be. It just depends on who it is. Because if it's like, I don't know, a day one person, then I'll be like, maybe. I honestly just gotta know you a little bit more. And then I'll think about inviting you. Right now, I don't want to force people onto this podcast because that seems a little bad to me. I don't know, but I am suggesting people. I am like telling them like I'm inviting them on to the podcast, especially if they listen to this. But I might ask somebody. Who knows? I'll ask Solak. He might be the best one. That's the one that I really want. I haven't asked him yet. Really, I've only like told on this podcast that I wanted him. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah. So let's continue on to this podcast. I'm actually kind of excited. It's been a few days. What's been happening is that Ninjala came out today, so I've been really playing Ninjala. I played it yesterday. I got a 3-4. No, I got a 4. I have currently a 4-win streak. I haven't played it that much, but I'm really enjoying the game. It's really really fun. There, as I've seen during the gameplay, it's really really basic. It's really basic gameplay, honestly, but you can make it so much more complicated with its skills or things that you can do in the game. Like I can tell already by playing the game and noticing all these tips that there is going to be a huge skill gap between the players that go from pro to casual, and especially some players who might not even be able to hit that pro mark. I'm pretty sure there won't be people that won't be able to do that. I think I'm actually pretty good at the game. I'm learning all the tips and tricks that you can do in the game. Like, here's the thing. Like, whenever you're clashing, there's two people, there's clashing, and then there's 4 arrows that you can see. That's basically called clashing. That's what I'm calling it anyways. And I noticed that you can leave that if you wanted to. I'm pretty sure you get, you do get a little bit of, a side effect or something. I don't know what it is. Or, a disadvantage or something if you leave it. Like, they take away some of your points, which I think they do. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if you get some points taken away from you in the little bar. I'm not 100% sure, but what I like to do sometimes is if I have a big weapon and they have a small weapon, I am definitely going to do it all the time. I'm definitely going to clash with them because if both of you guys choose the same one, then the big weapon will beat the small weapon for sure, 100%. But if it's big weapon, then big weapon, we'll see if I win the first one, then I'm probably gonna leave it. If I lose the first one, then I'm probably gonna leave it too, because I don't want to take my chances with it, because they already gave me a lot of damage at that time. So there's just a lot of things that you can do, especially the stupidest weapon that I've seen by far is the basketball weapon and the drill weapon. Right now I like using the skate hammer. That's what its name is. It's SK8 hammer. So skate hammer. Haha, really funny pun. But that's the weapon that I am using so far. I really, it's my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite weapon so far because it's a really heavy hitter. I like heavy hitter weapons sometimes. It just depends on the game. Like for Smash, I kind of like fast characters, small flow characters. That's why I'm playing Kirby right now. That's who I've been mostly just been playing this entire time for like the past like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. But he's the one I've been learning the most right now, so I'm really excited. I'm getting really good with him too. I'm learning the combos, I'm learning the things you can do with him, the jank, the funniness. So he's really fun. I still have all of my other characters, my past characters that I made. I'm still okay with them actually. Ganondorf was my old main. I still play him just in case because he's really stupid sometimes and can beat a lot of people, like out of nowhere. I really liked playing him, but I don't know, he wasn't getting me anywhere, so I just went to Kirby, which I don't know if that was a worse selection, but he is doing so well that he got me into Elite Smash, like not even like less than 2 days after I picked him up. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just like I don't know. It's just something with that bro. Plus he's actually sort of good. He's actually like he won a massive tournament in Japan. I don't know what rank it was, but Kirby won a tournament in Japan or something. Because Japan has a lot of good players. Like Jesus, you have no idea. And the Kirby beat all of those Japan players. I mean, the person using them was also, Japanese, of course, too. But yeah, that's just crazy to me. Like, I even watched the VOD and everything, so it was really interesting. So I'm happy that I have Kirby as my new main. Yeah, he's pretty good. I like him. He can basically. He has a lot of disadvantages, of course, but he's pretty good so far. I like his jank. He's killed a lot at 70, so he's not that bad. He's not that bad. But yeah, back to Ninjala. The game's really good. My favorite character in the entire game, it has to be Baraka. I love Baraka. She's my Discord avatar, my Avi. She has a Corona mask on right now, which is really funny. But I love Baraka. She's pretty. I think she's like really nice. I have like a small like little cartoon crush on her. It's kind of funny to me actually. I like her. I don't know. There's not much I can say about her. I'm interested in the lore. I want to know more about all the characters and Baraka. I don't know. I like Baraka the most. I guess the next character I like, I don't know. There's like three characters. Lucy. I kind of want to know about Lucy because some of the characters are actual kids, and then some of the characters are adults that turn into kids, which is a really interesting premise. I don't know, but I like the idea. It's a weird idea, but we'll see where that goes from there. So I like that. It was really cool. So the lore is really good. I liked the game. Sadly, the DLC or no, the story costs money, and there's like a Fortnite battle pass. So I'll have to buy those later. I can't buy them right now because I'm not going to Walmart, and I didn't know they were going to be $20. I was gonna buy another card for me because I bought somebody a birthday gift. So we'll see what happens for that. But anyways, yeah, Ninjala, really good game. There's a lot of pro strategies that you can do with that game. Like, I'm actually really surprised. It looks like a basic game. Your casual play is gonna look a lot different than your pro play, for sure. Like, literally for sure. There's gonna be a huge. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a big skill gap. There's gonna be a big difference in skill gap, especially between people that like are kids who play the game, and then there's gonna be adults who play the game. So I know there's gonna be a big one. I know for a fact. It looks like it because I've already talked to my friends about the Ninjala gameplay, and most of them didn't even know about the stuff that I was talking about too. Like, they didn't even know that this game had the stuff that this thing had to offer. Like, it wasn't even shown in the tutorial what you can really do, because there's no advanced tips, kind of like pro tip kind of gameplay. I might make a video about some really pro tip stuff that you can do in Ninjala, because that seems like a really good idea, especially because I'm gonna hop on that hype train and show about the stuff that you can do. So I might do that. Who knows? It depends on when I get my computer, because I'm supposed to get my computer at the end of this month, or a car. We're gonna see. If I get my computer, definitely getting an Elgato, hooking myself up, and I'm going to stream this game. I'm going to video this game. I'm going to get those hot tips and tricks on this game for sure, for definite sure. I am the Ninjala content creator now. That game I honestly really love the game. It's a really good game. Like, I don't know. There's not much I can say about that other than it's a really good game. There's so much more that the game than the game shows. There's a lot more than the game shows that it promises. It's really good. And I really hope people can get into it. It already has 1 million downloads in the for the game, so I'm really happy that in less than 2 days that it already has 1 million. I think it's less than 2 days. Yeah, in less than 2 days, it has 1 million downloads. That's really, really cool. And I hope that a lot more people get interested in this game because this game is so cool. And I'm really hoping that I can make my own competitive like team because there's team battles in this game. And I'm really hoping that I can get a few friends that are also like interested in Ninjala, wanting to play the Ninjala with me, and I'll get like a competitive team and stuff like that. So that'll be really, really cool. And I hope I can do that because that sounds really fun. Anyways, moving on. We have the ARMS character coming out in Monday. Let me see. It's today's Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we have 3 days. 3 days until the ARMS character. I got the pass on Wednesday, so that means I am ready for the ARMS character. That means I already have the content got. I need to buy Vault Boy, which was very surprising that they even got a Bethesda rep in the game. Look at that. First yawn on the podcast. I love to count those yawns because they are really, really annoying. I guess talking a lot gives me the fact to yawn. I don't know why. Another thing I've been annoyed with is I've been having a leg cramp for the last few days, and I don't know why. Like, I'm literally touching my calf, because it's on my calf, I think. I think that's what you call it, your calf. And I can feel, like, the cramp in there. I don't know. I don't know why I'm having one right now. It's been there for, like, 3 days so far. I'm really annoyed by it because, you know, I don't like the leg cramp. And plus, everywhere I walk, it starts hurting. Like, if I don't walk for a few minutes, then, like, the pain grows, I guess, in a way. And so it starts hurting. But right now it's fine because I've been walking for a little bit today. But I'm pretty sure after this podcast, it'll hurt just a little bit more. So, like, I'm really annoyed by it. I'm guessing I have to exercise or something. I don't know why. It's just really annoying. I hate the leg cramps. They're so annoying. But anyways, back to ARMS and Smash. ARMS, yeah. So the Ninjala character. Oh my god, that'd be cool though. Ninjala. Sorry, not Ninjala. I don't know why I keep calling it Ninjala. I don't know why. It's called Ninjala, and I keep calling it Ninjala. It's a really weird difference, but it's Ninjala because you know you hear the title is like it goes like Ninjala, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's not Ninjala, it's Ninjala. So I always get the freaking names mixed up, or I get the pronunciation wrong. So that's really stupid. But hopefully my brain will be like, aha, it's called Ninjala. So, oh my god, look at that. That was a long yawn. That was like 2 seconds. That was 2 seconds of yawn right there. But yeah. Hopefully also after I get this new computer, the editing in these podcasts will be a lot more. I might start doing pauses and stuff, especially to get these episodes longer and stuff. Because I want to do that, obviously. I always want to make them at least 40 minutes, because 40 minutes seems like a good amount of time for a podcast. I've seen some podcasts that are a lot longer than 40 minutes, but to be honest, 40 minutes seems like a really good time, especially for me, because sometimes I run out of things to do, especially when I have my list, and then I look at my list too much, and I'm like, these are the only things that I have to talk about, but they're on my mind. I just don't want to look at the list unless I'm like, I have to think of something, so I look at the list, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, there you go, there's something I can talk about. So it's obviously, that's just things that I want to, and then there's things that I want to talk about on top of my head, I forget about them. I have to write these down eventually. I have to get that on. I also have to learn my French again. That's also something because I have 3 languages that I have. My first language is English. My second language is Spanish, which my Spanish is horrible. I can only understand Spanish. So if you talk Spanish to me, I will probably understand you. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I just can't communicate to somebody in Spanish. And then the third language that I'm learning is French. Oh. My French is absolute doo-doo. Like, it is absolute doo-doo. I am going into French 3, and my French is absolute doo-doo. I can count to 100 in French. I am not going to do it for you guys, though, because chances are I'm going to mess up. But my French is absolute doo-doo, so I need to actually step up my French game. So I'm going to really try getting my French up. I haven't been doing it, though, because I'm a lazy little... I'm a boy that's lazy. And, it sucks because I procrastinate a lot, especially with something that I don't have to do, but I know that my French sucks. So it's like, you better do your French, boy, or I swear to God. So, or your French 3 lessons will be horrible, and that's what I'm really afraid of. So I'll have to learn my French. I need somebody that watches this who is 14 minutes. I swear to God. Someone's got to be counting these yawns. If somebody's watching this and listening to this, I swear to God, count my yawns and I'll give you something. Maybe. I don't know. Depends. What was like God, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, how did I forget? Oh yeah. What was I on? How did I forget my train of thought just by that? Arms. I was talking about arms, and then I went to Smash. I legitimately forgot what I was talking about. What is absolutely wrong with me? Oh yeah, French. That's what I was talking about. I gotta learn my French too. Someone's gotta remind me to learn my French too. Especially with these yawns. This is the first time on this podcast that a yawn has made me lose my train of thought. That is so annoying. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. Jesus Christ. I'm really also. I swear to God. These yawns are going to be the premise of my podcast. I'm literally going to call this the Yawning Podcast now. From the Stress Podcast to the Stressed Out Yawning Podcast. To the Stressed Yawning Podcast, anyways. For some reason, I started thinking that my podcast name was the Stressed Out Podcast when it's just called the Stress Podcast. I don't know if it changes anything, really. But, it's fine. I don't really care. The Stress Podcast was the first name that I came up with, and then for some reason, I started naming it the Stressed Out Podcast for a little bit. Like, wait a minute, I don't remember that. So I literally had to check what I named it, because I put it on Discord, and, like, I know what I'm naming it immediately. Like, after I thought of the podcast idea, I was like, I'm gonna name it something, and I immediately came up with the Stress Podcast. Every time you hear me on, I need like a laugh track or something. This is incredible. This is insane. I hate this, honestly. But yeah, I thought of, what was it? I thought of the Stress Podcast, so I had to, like, look at the name again to be like, oh yeah, it's the Stress Podcast, not the Stressed Out Podcast. I don't know. I have no idea why I thought it was called the Stressed Out Podcast. But I did for a little bit. I don't know why. This podcast idea was honestly really good for me. It's helping me a lot too with my own stuff. So I'm really hoping that this podcast idea goes out into the future, especially. And again, there's going to be a lot more editing. What I want to do, especially, is make myself an intro for the podcast and also make myself an outro for a podcast, especially with the songs, because right now there's no music in the background. I haven't had any music in the background. I also want to do some things with the video too on YouTube, because my computer sucks. I'm using it to record, but the editing, because I'm using Audacity, but the editing software that I use sucks, because if I try to look into the video while it's editing, while I play the video while it's editing, it will lag. So I legitimately cannot get, like, unless I don't care about, like, how I time the music or how I time the videos or something like that. There won't be much editing for right now until I get my new computer, which I'm hoping it's really soon. So after I get my computer, you're gonna see a lot better editing, and you're gonna see actual videos instead of podcasts, which will be honestly really dope, and I'm actually really excited for that. I want to make videos because my brain just has lots of creativity. Like, I just want to play games, you know. I also have some ideas. I have a lot of creativity ideas. I love doing tournaments. I love hosting tournaments. I've also been hosting tournaments for my own Discord community with prizes, with $10 prizes for Steam, eShop, and other things. I forgot what the other stuff was, but those are the two that I remember so far. But yeah, I really enjoy the stuff that I'm doing. Also, I just realized that I'm really loud, but hopefully nobody can hear me. I'm pretty sure nobody can, but that's something I'm really worried about. Somebody somewhere just hears me talking to myself, and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, you can hear me talking. So hopefully just being not that loud helps. But yeah, that's about it for that little segment right there. But yeah, editing will be a lot better, and my videos should be a lot better too, and especially since I can make some. And I'm probably gonna, like, I don't know, because the way I make videos is, you know, usually how a young person who makes videos, they're like, because if you look at people, like, actual content creators, depending on what type of content creator that you watch, most of the creators I have, they're naturally into the video idea industry. Like a lot of content creators that you see, depending on, like, what type of content that they do, here's me, like, because what I'm interested in, the type of content is, like, something like Alpharad kind of does, because there's some YouTubers out there that, you know, they start the name with because they start the video so naturally. I don't know, that's something that I really like That's like the type of thing I like. I don't like saying my name and being like, hey, this is Xnigma, haha. And then there's people who have like not like intros to their vids, but like basic introductions to the vid, like what are they doing and stuff. You see like you watch like 5 seconds of the video and it's not them saying, hey, it's Xnigma. That's kind of like depending on like if I like that content creator, like I've already watched it before. That's the type of thing that I'm not really interested in. I don't like that's just my perspective on the things. But yeah, so I'm really hoping that I can not do that one day. Like get naturally into the video, like make funny clips. Like there's people who they make funny clips, like they do multiple games and then you see them like make funny clips out of it, like just kind of stuff like that. That's the type of stuff that I'm interested in. So I gotta have funny friends. I'm kidding. I have really good friends. They're pretty cool, and I think they're honestly funny to me. So shout out to my friends, to the homies, XQCL, people hug, people love. I don't know what else. What else are their emotes? Heart, something like that. That's the only Twitch emote that I can think of that has a heart is XQCL, and that's about it. Bay also on Twitch. Twitch is being sued for $25 million. Well, they did get sued for $25 million, and they were taken to court because some guy on the internet couldn't contain his horny. Basically what happened was this guy was like, these girls are too sexual for me, and they make me go awooga, awooga, hiya, hiya, eyes bulging out, and I'm like, bruh, contain yourself, put yourself, don't do this Coomer-like attitude, because he apparently followed like 700 female streamers or something and 0 male streamers, and he's complaining about how Twitch is taking advantage of these women because you can subscribe to them, pay them, or pay bits to them, which like bits are just like penny money basically, but they're still like $500 is $5. I'm pretty like 500 bits is $5. I'm pretty like, yeah, I think every bit is 1 penny. So yeah, that's pretty good actually. Yeah, and then like 2,500 bits is $25. All that jazz. So yeah, so that's basically what goes on in Twitch, and it's really funny to me. Everybody complained about it, and this guy, and apparently he also sued Nintendo, Sony, Blizzard, and Microsoft in the past before, which I haven't heard anything about this, probably because it was a long time ago. I have no idea. But the attitude is so funny to me because he actually sued Twitch for this. The funniest thing that I've ever seen in my life. Now, I'm gonna go on to a little bit serious subject right here, so I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be a little serious from this point on. So, kind of laughing, kind of not. I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll laugh. We'll see. But basically, what's been going on recently has been really, really crazy because lots of people in the streamer, YouTuber, like basically anyone that you would see in the game media kind of stuff, a lot of people have been accused of sexual harassment in a way. So there's a lot of accusations going around. I currently don't have a list of because I don't know. I didn't think about if I was going to talk about this or not, so I guess I am going to talk about this. I just didn't have a list for me, but there has been a lot of people that have been accused of sexual harassment, which is honestly really crazy to me. That means that YouTubers that could be sexual harassers. Now, there's a lot of people that, some people know personally that, would never do this type of stuff. There's also the stupid people, the dumb people who who are using this time to their advantage and even taking like this to fake sexual fake accusations towards people. And there's a lot of obviously the people who are falsely accused are obviously mad and oh my god, I can't talk. In fact, people who are mad about these false accusations and even noticing these are saying that some people are taking it seriously and even going to court for this, obviously, because these are false accusations, and false accusations could even destroy a person's it could destroy a person's career, because there's what was his name, Tobuscus. His career literally got destroyed just because of false accusations against him. I think it was false. I'm pretty sure it was. And there's people like, what is it? Jared, Pro Jared. He was also falsely accused, and he showed the receipts. They all showed the receipts. They showed that they were people on the right side. But these people who falsely accused them, obviously their traction got too high, and it obviously canceled them. This is the problem with cancel culture. People take the people who are, I'm always going to say this no matter what. You can't change my fact. You can't change my mind. And if you think the other way, then I don't know. That's a lot of big problems, but basically, innocent until proven guilty. That is honestly my mind on it. Honestly, like that's what I think about that. So, like, because there's people who are falsely accused, and there's people out there who are like, I'm gonna believe the accuser, which honestly is really stupid. I don't know why you would believe the accuser on a first thought. First, you have to wait for the what is it? What do they call it? The Twitter post that every content creator will make if they get called out. So you gotta wait for that Twitter post. I don't know, what do you call it? There's a word for it. I don't remember. I'm just saying Twitter post because that's where you mostly see people talk about this, or they just talk about it on YouTube. There's, the people I can think of at the top of my mind that have been accused. There was. Oh god. Okay. There's been Twitch staff. There's also, let's see, Relax Alex. Jenna Marbles. Well, these are not sexual harassments, but there's also been things of like being racist and stuff. Basically, just accusations. I guess I'll also touch on that topic. People who made mistakes in their past, and then people bring it up after like 10 years, 3 years, which honestly, that even gets me scared a little bit, especially on the podcast. Because here's me. I am young, obviously, but I could talk about something like that is not offensive 10 years from now, and I could get canceled just because of something I said on this podcast, and I could have changed by then. I could have learned that saying this or doing that is now not a thing that I can do in 10 years at this point. Like, who knows? Something that will happen in 1 year, and I'll be like, well, I know that this thing that I said or this thing that I did was dumb, and I'll take major, like, I'll obviously take that in. I'll obviously be like, yes, I made a mistake. And I'm a kid, we're stupid, obviously, and I honestly make a lot of mistakes in my life. It's really dumb too. I really hate that there's people. I don't know how to feel. This is my hot take on this right now. I don't know how hot this take is, but it's really stupid that people get canceled over the stuff they did in the past. I definitely don't think I don't have a time frame of when you can say something and then not get I don't exactly have a time frame of when you can get canceled for something that you said in the past. I don't want to say an exact I could say 5 months. If I said 5 months, people would obviously get mad at that because they said it I don't know. There's just not a time frame that I can say where you look into the past and be like, they said this. This was in the past. They've obviously learned from this. I can't say that obviously because some people don't learn from their mistakes, Logan Paul or Jake Paul. Logan Paul's a little bit more okay. I like Logan Paul a little bit. He was cool, especially about not the racist thing, the BLM. But that's honestly my hottest take on it. I don't think people should be getting, canceled over something they said in the past. I honestly can say that. If they did it now, then yes, obviously they should definitely get, canceled. Well, depending on what the subject was, obviously. Because cancel culture can be sometimes a really big, deep gap or a hole because there's a lot of things around it that are really, really bad. Cancel culture in a whole is really bad because somebody out there has their whole life, career on this one path, and then just because they said a thing, they messed up, their whole life is canceled now. They have nothing to go off of it now. Of course, obviously there's going to be people who are obviously meant to be canceled, because obviously, yeah, it's a good thing. But there's some people out there who make a mistake, small mistakes sometimes, even in the past. They get canceled and your whole life career is canceled over it. And it's really, really stupid. That's honestly my hot take on it. If you have an opinion on this too, I'd like to hear that too. That'd be kind of cool, especially if you're listening 30 minutes into this episode, because I should be around 30 minutes now because I usually take away 5 seconds at the beginning. But yeah, it's really stupid. That's honestly just my hot take on it, especially with the sexual allegations. There's a lot of fake ones, but of course there's some real ones. And again, innocent until proven guilty. And those are honestly my hot takes on that. So yeah, that's Twitter has been going off on allegations, cancel culture. Honestly, the whole cancel culture is somewhat of a bad thing, somewhat of a good thing. I don't know, but really, that's just about it about that thing. Also, something I've been thinking about this podcast is I wanted to make a book. Actually no, I have made a book before. I have made 2 books in my life before, maybe three, and I honestly want to finish one. I did it on Wattpad because that was like every kid's teenager's joke place. I don't know. It was just something that you could you write your own books on. I have one public right now. I have one chapter. I don't remember what I called it, but basically what the premise is this kid who doesn't know his name. He lives a normal life basically. I don't remember. I think he was depressed or something. I don't know. No, he's lonely or something because they're homeschooled. He and his brother are homeschooled, or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But basically, there's secrets about his dad. His dad is some kind of I don't know, some person. It's his birthday. I don't want to spoil much because I already know the whole story. I already know what's going on in the entire story, so I'm not gonna spoil that. But that's basically what the first chapter is. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot more in the first chapter. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I can really talk about in the first book. But the second book, the other book, the actual first book, that was the stupidest book I've ever made in my entire life. I'm never going to finish it because it's a stupid story. It's so dumb. It's actually so dumb. Basically what the story was is that there was this kid, I don't remember how old he was, but he was probably 6 days old. He was 6 days old or something. No, not 6 days. 6 years. I don't know. But basically my mind was I don't remember. He was just young. Cause I remember in the story, he was in some kind of cradle or those little things, those chairs where babysit or something. He was eating tacos with his family, and then his family gets kidnapped or something. They get robbed or something. There's these people, and they just bang, boom, pow, and I'm bruv, this is a godlike story. And then what happens is, I don't know when this got to here, but I think the baby has AIDS or cancer or something. I don't remember. I don't know what I was talking about. And then after that, the baby gets stuck somewhere. He was not home. He was not home anymore. He was gone. His parents were gone. He was in the middle of the streets. He was somewhere. And then I don't know where he was going, but I think he was going home or something like that. He was going home. And then and then he was just and then that's literally all that I wrote in my story. I know where the book is. I know where I wrote the story. I wrote it on this little notepad, and I showed it to one person, and he was "What the hell is this? What the hell?" He was reading it, and it was "Oh, he has depression or something." I don't remember what it was, but it was the baby's story was really sad, or he was going to die. I think he was going to die. I don't remember what it was. It was the saddest story ever, though. Jesus Christ, that was edgy or something. I don't know what it is. Was edgy or something? But that was basically what that story was. But basically, my third story is actually it's based on a video that I saw, or no, it was XQC that gave me this small idea. I don't know if I'm gonna make it into an actual story yet, but basically, Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm gonna make something like that. That's all I want to say though, because I don't want to spoil. I don't really have an idea of what you can do with this ghost. It's basically a ghost story, though. I'll tell you that. It's a ghost story like Casper the Ghost. It's basically like a Casper the Ghost story. That's all I want to say, though. Because I don't want to spoil too much. Because I have no idea what I want in my book. Because if I say something now, it's going to be held oh, you're going to do this, obviously. So, and plus, I don't have much of the story yet. But I want to get back into bookmaking. Because my second book was actually a really good book. I had 2 people interested in it. I told my... how do I want to say this? How do I identify this person? I don't even know. But I've only told one person. Actually, no, I told 3 people about this book. my friend Elmer, who was on the podcast, another friend named Nick, and then another person who I will not talk about on this podcast ever, unless I do, which I might because I've had lots of things happen to me about it. So I don't know if that's going to be one of the most serious, the most debatable podcasts that I will ever have. It might be, I don't know, it might be one of those podcasts where I really want to do it, but in retrospect, if I look at it like in 10 years or I don't know, 1 year from now, it's not going to be a good idea. I legitimately don't want to talk about it until I know about something. So if I learn about this one thing that I want to know about, I'm definitely going to talk about it in my podcast, and you'll hear me talk about somebody that I'll probably call them out, and it won't be very good. So some people might know what I'm talking about. So people that know that are watching and knowing about this, it's something about a female. Hee hee hee, ha ha ha. I don't know how much people who don't know will get to know about that much. Basically, it's the problem that I've been having for the past 2 weeks, and it's really stupid. And I've gotten a little bit depressed over it, obviously, because it's really stupid. But hopefully I can get over it. But it will be one of my most serious videos if I do make it, which I don't want to make, honestly. I don't want to say anything about it. I'm really disappointed in the whole entire thing. It's made me anxious. It's giving me bad mental thoughts. It's giving me a bad premise about my own self, because what happened was basically something good happened to me, and then I was like, yes, I'm a good person now, because I told this person about what's happened to me in the past year or so, and then basically all thrown away. So I don't know, and then you might understand what's going on. You might understand from that story, like, ooh. So it's gonna be a really hot topic, especially if I make this like a big episode. Like, I don't know if I will. It might be like, I don't know, because I feel like it would be like a 20-minute podcast or something. But if it is, I'll definitely do it. I'm really sorry to people who understand. If they really think that it's a good idea to talk about it on this podcast, then, or if they think it's a bad idea to talk about it on this podcast, then yeah, you should definitely tell me, because I'm gonna get myself into a lot of trouble. But there's a lot of things that I want to tell some people, and I don't know. I want to let things out, especially since I've already talked about this with a lot of people. So I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. 37-minute episode, not bad actually. Hopefully I get a person on next episode. I'm really going to. I'm gonna try. I don't want to make it the same person. I don't want to make it Elmer again, for sure. But if you've listened this far, I really, really appreciate you. I've, there's been a lot of things going on. This is why it's called the Short Stop Podcast. The problem is I don't like talking about my personal life, because I don't know how much that is, because I know people don't like hearing someone's sad stories, because I honestly want to be a person that helps people. I want to make them happy. That's literally like my goal in life. I like making people happy. I like talking to people. I like hearing their problems. That's the type of person I am. But whenever I have my own problems, it's sort of like it hits me in a way that's different than what some people like change or something. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, that should be about it. I really love all of you for watching my podcast. Y'all are so nice. I love every single one of you, especially to my friends that are listening to this. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast, the Stressed Out Podcast. I want all of y'all to have a nice day. And if you're here right now, hit that bell. You gotta hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell, and then you gotta like the video. If you like the video, this brings a lot more attention to, it can be out to recommendations, suggestions. It'll really help me, especially if I'm one day gonna actually make YouTube my own career. Right now, this is more for fun. I'm honestly doing it for fun. But if I decide to make it some kind of career or just some sort of like short thing, then that'll really help me, especially during school days, because I have work right now. I have like a job, like an actual job, but I also do have school. So, and eventually school is gonna take over my work life. So, I want some sort of income in any way capacity. So, and I also just want to say this: if you really want to support me and actually help me, it would be really nice that just listen to the videos, honestly. And if you don't want them, put them in the background somewhere. Like, leave them on for videos, and it'll honestly really help me, because it'll help me with my YouTube time and everything. So I just want to say that. I don't know how like selfish that sounds, or like greedy, or I don't know anything, but I really hope that's something that this gets to be. I'm especially gonna make gameplay videos in the future, especially about Ninjala. That's what I'm really excited for. So, anyways, that's about it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, today's podcast. As I said earlier, again, I'm gonna say this one more time: subscribe, hit the bell, like the video, help me out. Love you all. Goodbye.